Welcome back, America, coast to coast. And welcome back, Mike Shoesmith, my friend and correspondent from Toronto, Canada. He's also the executive editor of ppsimmons News and Ministry Network, hugely viral ministry and news network on the internet. Mike, listen, I've been noticing recently that there's more and more talk of impeachment, but now the talk seems to be coming right out of the White House. Not that anybody in the White House is calling for impeachment of Obama, but people in the White House appear to be genuinely afraid of that possibility now.
Yeah, definitely afraid. Apparently, lots of websites, big-time news outlets are reporting today that the senior White House advisors are taking various. By the way, let me say that I don't know. You don't spend any time on Facebook. I know you don't have time for any of that nonsense.
No.
But as the social networking director for ppsimmons, et cetera, I spend a lot of time on these social networking sites like Facebook and Twitter and all that stuff. And there is a lot of interest in the social networking, kingdom, as it were, to impeach Obama. In fact, there's a few impeach Obama pages on Facebook. There's one called Impeach Obama with hundreds of thousands of people on it. And there's a new poll out, by the way. 1/3 of Americans want to see Obama impeached. I don't have that in front of me here, but that's a new poll released today. And now on Breitbart is one of the websites reporting that senior White House advisors are taking very seriously the possibility that Republicans in Congress will try to impeach President Obama, especially if he takes executive action to slow deportations. Dan Pfeiffer, a senior advisor to Obama, said Friday today that the White House is taking the prospect of impeachment in the GOP-controlled House more seriously than many others in Washington who see it as unlikely. Now, I don't know. We're going to see more movement on this probably in November when we see where things go with the House and Senate elections, right? With the by-election here coming up in November. This is going to be a big one to watch. I mean, a lot of people were surprised by what happened in the last federal election when Obama won his re-election bid. I was shocked by it, and it looked like the stupid people won that election completely, according to Mancow. But what's your take? A lot of people are wondering, Carl, and I was hoping to get your take on this. If when Mike Zullo's findings are finally released, and we're all looking forward to that, and many other findings are released per the President of the United States and his eligibility to be President of the United States. Now, if he is found to be ineligible and a usurper, does impeachment even come into play? Can they just march in and arrest him?
Well, Mike, listen, you've asked a good question, and a lot of people ask that. I am not a constitutional lawyer, nor am I a federal legal expert, so all I can do is speculate. All I can say is at this point, the whole process is extremely complex. Because, first of all, Mike, if he's discovered to be ineligible, and whatever that means, in other words, maybe his birth certificate's not in order, it could be he was born in America, but it's just not in order, or, his father's not from here, so he's not really natural born, and people say, well, we don't know what natural born is. Yes, we do. Senate Resolution 511, 2008, they defined natural born when they were investigating John McCain. The Senate does know what natural born is. So if it's determined that he's ineligible, well, the Constitution says that was Congress's responsibility.
Right.
So maybe they should all be impeached. Because we've been through we've been through two electoral college processes, and the Constitution says that during the electoral college process, before the man is sworn in, it is Congress' responsibility to determine in the electoral college process whether or not he is eligible, and they didn't do it either time. Now they did do it with John McCain. The Senate actually investigated him, and Obama and Hillary Clinton sat on that investigation. I mean, hypocrisy among hypocrisies, there it is. But they've never done it with Obama. So I don't know. I think they should impeach the entirety of Congress for not upholding. They raised their hand, swore to protect the Constitution, and they dropped it twice. Now, I'm kind of being tongue-in-cheek, but because you're asking what do we do with Obama. Now, if we find out he's an usurper, in other words, if he's a plant, if he's illegal, if he's an alien, let's just say we find that out. And I don't mean from another planet. I mean from another country. He's never was a citizen here. And his handlers knew it, and he knew it, and they purposely usurped the government for the purpose of destroying our economy, for destroying our nation, for destroying our military. then he should be arrested and frog marched out of the White House, in my humble opinion, in handcuffs and put in prison. I mean, wouldn't any other nation of the world do that? I mean, what if I slipped in, disguised in some nation and started running that nation into the ground, and then they said, wait a minute, Carl Gallups isn't even from here. He broke every law there is to take over our country. Don't you imagine I'd wind up in their prison? So it's very complex, Mike. It just all depends on, what's revealed and what America wants to do about it.
Well, that's a great point. If someone is not even supposed to be president, are they entitled to impeachment proceedings? It's a great question. Maybe somebody can get into the comment section there and straighten us out on this. My name is Mike Shoesmith, and let me put in a shameless plug for our Impeach Obama page on Facebook. Impeach Obama now. Thousands of people have signed up already. Get on board with that. PP Simmons on Facebook, PP Simmons on Twitter and YouTube. My name is Mike Shoesmith, ppsimmons@live.com to reach us, and we'll talk to you guys next week.